All right, guys, I'm at the Freshway Mini Mart at Milton in Miami. Now I'm gonna show y'all something that y'all need to understand as it relates to the shootings that happened Friday night and the shooting that happened Sunday night over here on High Street on the southeast side. So currently I'm turning left onto Milton. I'm heading west on Milton because this is the most effective way for me to get to where these shootings appear to have happened. Now, I really want to show y'all this so y'all kind of understand the geography. And as I've said, this is dead ass middle of dog life territory. So now I'm headed north on Dale Avenue. I'm crossing Dayton Street on Dale Avenue right now. There's a school to the right of me. I don't know which one, to be honest. So now I'm going to turn left on Dubail. I'm on Dale. I'm turning left onto Dubail, headed west on Dubail. Okay. This, I believe this would have been the direction the car was traveling that did the shooting. Okay. Now, my next stop sign should be High Street. Okay. My next stop sign should be High Street. Now, as I'm approaching this stop sign at High Street, right there, I just crossed an alleyway, okay? I believe right there is where the shooting happened. I believe the car came from the direction I just came from Miami Street, headed west on Dubail, did the shooting, hit one person, they jumped in that alleyway and ran north, which is the direction I'm now headed on High Street. And that the car was driving the direction I am on High Street. And when they got to here at Indiana, this is what they spun the block, boom, come around here, and just to my right here, ahead of this white car, is where this alley spits out on Indiana, and they probably drove by and popped the other dude right there. I'm telling y'all right now that based on the police reports and based on witness statements, that is what I believe happened. Okay, I'm gonna go back around the block again just to demonstrate the point. So I'm now gonna go back south on Dale Avenue off of Indiana. I just turned off of Indiana south onto Dale. And then at this stop sign, I'm gonna pop a right, which is again back on Dubail. Okay, now I'm back on Dubail when I make this right. And I believe the car that did the shooting came from the direction that car just came from, except that they stayed straight and went the direction I'm now going. Now, I know that sun's making it a little difficult, really didn't plan on that or think about that. But as I'm approaching the stop sign, and I'll do a stop before I get to it, okay? There's gonna be two stops you're gonna see me do real quick. First stop is the alleyway. Boom, I just stopped at the alleyway. And you can cut straight through there to Indiana from where I'm at on Dubail. So somewhere just before that alley, I think those individuals were shot and the first one was hit. The second one took off through that alleyway. They would now be traveling the direction I'm traveling, but they'd be on foot. Going north, they'd be in the alley. I'm on High Street. The car saw where they were gonna run, got on High Street like I did, and then made this right like I'm about to, okay? And as they were coming out right over there in front of the white car, the car that came by and boom, did a drive-by, hit that person. Okay? Now, thankfully, again, both of those individuals, as far as we understand at this point, survived. So that's a blessing. Okay? That's an absolute blessing. Now, I'm gonna go back over here and get to a stationary point. And then I'm really gonna kind of drive this point home. I'm gonna get to a point where I can stop and be stationary so I can grab my phone and kind of pan and shit. And I really wanna drive a point home for y'all, man. I really wanna understand that. Help y'all understand what I'm saying here. So as I'm sitting here now, I'm on Dale Avenue facing south at Dubail. Miami is to my left, High is to my right. I'm turning right to go towards High. And this is the direction the car would have been traveling that did the shooting. All right, now, what I'm gonna do is you're gonna see me pulling a parking lot that's on the south side of Dubail, which is in here behind HealthLink, okay? And this is actually you can't make this shit up. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. So I'm pulling in a little parking lot here behind the HealthLink, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is get myself, I am on I am in a parking lot behind HealthLink, okay? Listen to me very carefully, and I don't even have to take the phone off the stand, okay? Right directly to my front right there is an alleyway. This street in front of me is Dubail. I'm sitting in a parking lot behind HealthLink. To my right is Miami. To my left is High. Dubail is what's running right directly in front of me. I believe somewhere this direction, the two individuals were outside, probably on this little bridgeway over here, and the car came from what would be the right at this point, pulled up, started shooting as they went by, hit one guy, he ran, saw this alley, went down the alley where that lady's over there gardening, went down the alley to try to get over to Indiana, and the car that did the shooting then continued to travel this way. And as they did, and they saw that kid run through that alleyway, they knew where he was going. So they spun the block like this. They're going straight, shot, boom, hit one guy. Guy took off down the alley, boom, they come down here. They hit High Street. They make a right, and they're headed north. And they get over here, and they hit Indiana, and they cut back the direction that person's walking past that memorial right there. Okay? And then boom, they make that right. They see them folks pop out, or the one person pop out right there where that alley is, and they hit them as they went by. That is absolutely 100% what I believe happened, based on witness statements, police reports, and other information that I've received. And I just leave that like it is, okay? Because I trust the person that told me that, and the person that told me that trusts me, and it's got to stay that way. Now, I want you to understand something. For two very specific reasons that I won't say on a video, my vehicle is fairly well known around town, even though it's a very mundane vehicle. I've done no mods to this vehicle because I still have a payment on it. I don't do mods on cars I have payments on. But it's still a car that's very recognizable in two very specific ways to people that know what they're looking for. So I don't really ever move anonymously when I'm around the city. And I want you guys to see and understand that I can move around freely because of the relationships I have, the bonds I have with people, the respect I have with people in the street, not in the street, in different neighborhoods and shit. And that's what I believe happened down there. That just, listen, I done spent the last like 15 years really watching and studying what be going on in Chicago with this shit. I know the exact playbook. I know what they playbook is. The folks that's out here doing this kind of stuff. So hopefully that's helpful to people, get a little bit better understanding, potentially of what happened here. You know, it is what it is. They're not gonna catch the shooters unless the two victims speak. Because if they don't know specifically and factually who shot them, I guarantee you they got a real good idea. They could at least tell them people where to start. But they not gonna do that because they're still in that world, so they're not gonna do that either. And to be honest, I mean, honestly, a lot of the civilians over there ain't gonna really say nothing either, even if they know something, because they not really trusting the police at this point. And there's probably halfway decent reason for that. And that's sad because that, my friends, is not the playbook for how to get a handle on this shit and stop the death and stop the dying, bro. And I want to say something else, but I'll say it on a live stream when I get home. So we're going to wrap that up right there.